Today, I want to talk about living in a nightmare. Yes, we're alive, we seem to be awake, and yet we seem to be living in a nightmare. There is so much terror. I mean, we're filled with fear, and I don't know anybody who isn't. What I've come to understand after being on the planet all of these years, I've come to understand a few things that I didn't know as a young man. And one of the things that I've come to understand that in order to get up from a nightmare, you have to awaken. You can't be asleep. And the world seems to be asleep. And they're asleep in a dream. And that dream is caused by something that I would call our individual and collective sickness. And that sickness is our egos. What is our ego? That thing that separates us from each other. If you're alive and awake today, I would say you're living and being directed by a master teacher who is your ego. That is the path that you are following. Your thoughts and conclusions and actions are caused by this ego. Well, what is that ego? It's a mental path, really. And what is its, well, I should say its opposite or its absence, the absence of that ego. If you didn't have one, what would you be thinking about? You wouldn't be thinking much at all. You'll be living in paradise. Paradise caused by who you really are. And who you really are is that Holy Spirit that's inside of us, the cause of our life, the primary cause of life. And that primary cause of life is, I'm going to use a word now that I want you to get used to. Instead of using the word God, which is easily misunderstood, I will call that the infinite creator or the infinite intelligence. Beyond our intelligence is infinity. How far can we spread? And that infinity is the light that's inside of us. It's the life that's inside of us. It's the thing that is inside of us that we are all connected to. You cannot be alive without being connected to that. But you may not be connected to it when you're asleep and dreaming. And this world is asleep and dreaming that they are their egos. Well, it's time to wake up. And hopefully, well, what is happening in the headlines today with anti Semitism or some other real nonsense, it seems to be so real. Oh my goodness, 6 million people murdered in the last World War. And here it is, it's still there. And we don't understand how it could come about without reason. It is just a dream that has to be awakened from. And hopefully this is my voice is part of the call to wake up and be one in love, because that love is our natural self. That love is who we really are. Ask me who I really am, and all I can tell you is that, oh, I don't know who I really am. Well, I don't know. Of course, I just accept without reasoning it out, something that is connects me to you. You and I are exactly the same. Hey, I know you. You're just like me. That's how it is. And this is my life's work, and I call it and how I will be until I leave the planet. Telling people this has happened to me. Today I realize there is an infinite intelligence. You talk about the artificial intelligence that they're talking about. Yeah, they're seeking that infinite intelligence, and they keep expanding it, and we're not locked in to what we know. It's what we don't know, and we're searching for. And every generation as we go on, you know, And as you know, some people believe in reincarnation. Well, maybe that's how it works. I don't know. I don't know about these things. I'm not even that spiritual. All I know is that there is something certainly beyond what I learned in all the years on this planet. And I hope to keep learning through experience of that love as I try to recognize and get rid of the worst enemy. The worst enemy is that ego. Find out who I